Hey everyone, my name is Michael Sheehan, and today we're going to be talking about the centers of intelligence when it comes to the Enneagram. The next couple of videos, I'm going to dive deeper into each center of intelligence, but what I want this video to be is a summary, basically, of the whole centers and what that even means. So if you've ever seen the Enneagram symbol, it's a circle, and it almost looks like there are three cut out pieces of a pie, the top and then the bottom right and then the bottom left, and it splits into three numbers each. And a lot of people are familiar with the Enneagram, like the Enneagram, have talked about it, but don't really know much about the centers of intelligence. And for me, especially using the Enneagram in my practice as a therapist, the centers of intelligence are key to understanding the entire sort of holistic picture of what the Enneagram is and what the Enneagram is teaching. And so I want to talk a little bit about that now. The centers of intelligence in the Enneagram, there are three of them: the body center, the heart center, and the head center. And what that basically means is each center corresponds to a different part of our brain. Researchers more and more are calling our own brains triune brains, meaning we have three separate sections of our brain. We have the brainstem, sort of automatic sensory part of us. We have the mammalian brain in the middle, which is the relational and emotional part of us. And then we have the neocortex that's overlaid over the top. That has to do with logic and thinking and, understanding and language and speaking. So we all have all three, right? We all have bodily responses, physical responses, things happening in our brainstem. We all have our mammalian brain kind of firing up, giving us emotions that mean something, emotions that are important to understand what we need. It's the part of us that craves relationship. And then we also all use the neocortex, the top part. What the Enneagram says, however, though, is that certain people tend to favor one center over the other. Throughout our lives, as our personality develops, we end up overutilizing one of the centers. So to put this with the Enneagram numbers 8, 9, and 1 tend to overuse the body center. They tend to take information from the world around them through their body center more than anything else, which can create some good and helpful things, but it also, unbalanced and overboard, creates issues. And we'll dive into each one of those and this following week, especially when we dig into the body center. And then you have the heart center, numbers 2, 3, and 4. These numbers are taking in information from the world around them with their hearts more than anything. And just because we're going to dive into this deeper, obviously, in the next videos, but just because you take information from your heart doesn't mean you utilize the heart. So in each one of these centers, there's one number in the middle, 9, 3, and 6, that tend to take information from the certain center, but also are repressed in that center at the same time. And we are going to talk about what that looks like later this week. And then you have the third center, which is the head center. And these people tend to take in information from the world around them through their heads more primarily. They're unbalanced in that direction. And that, of course, creates its own issues and problems. One of the things I love the most about the Enneagram is this kind of tertiary three-part thing that appears and that happens all over the place. This idea that the Enneagram is split into three centers, and then each of those centers has three numbers, which makes 9 numbers in all. And the idea that it's not just thinking and feeling, it's not this kind of binary either or. It's this grouping of three that I think is actually more realistic with how the world works in the first place. So, we're going to talk about the centers of intelligence. I hope this brief intro makes sense. We're going to dive a lot deeper into these and what it looks like and what each number looks like inside each one.